coming along nicely, but I can't wait to see how Charles has reinvented the tree stand.
The Geniers have a wonderful artificial Christmas tree that they'd like to continue to use, so I created a new Christmas tree stand for them that's going to give them a multi-functioning piece. It's not only going to elevate their tree almost 2 feet, it's also going to be a great solid display for their antique train set and give them some additional hidden storage. Now, the basic construction of this entire piece is 3/4-inch plywood. Once I determined the radius of the circular base for the antique train set, I cut the circle in half, attached 2 rails for easy sliding back and forth. Now all I have to do to finish this project up is attach the hinge to the door panel, mount 1/2 of the circular train base for extra stability, and this project will be ready for action.
And for just $50, we have a custom-made multi-purpose tree stand. After the break, the family moves out and we move in.
Great house.
Yeah.
I love it.
The tree is coming along.
These are great.
But there's more than one way to decorate a Christmas tree. That's all coming up on Christmas Design on a Dime.
Don't miss HGTV's complete coverage of the Rosemary.
The Genier family has asked our 2 teams to join forces and make over their undecorated home in anticipation of Santa's arrival. With tools in hand, we're set to tackle this holiday transformation.
What do you think? Oh my gosh.
It's a great house.
Yeah,
I love
this is beautiful.
It's better than you guys said.
Doesn't it already feel Christmassy?
It does.
Yeah, it does.
Wait till we get through.
As usual, our first step is to clear the space and make way for all our festive decorations. Getting just the right amount of lights is paramount to making the tree appear full and vibrant. Summer has some great ideas to light it up and never have to wrestle with those strings of lights ever again.
A great decorator's tip, especially when you're working with an artificial tree, is to individually wrap each branch. It's very simple. And by doing this, at the end of the Christmas season, you can store it in a dry place, and next year when Christmas begins again, all you have to do is plug your tree in. No more work.
Summer suggests you wire the branches from the inside of the tree out. This adds depth and hides the plugs and wires, disguising the fact that the tree is artificial. This process takes a while, but if you do a thorough job the first time, you can eliminate the hassle of lighting year after year. A fabulous tree brightens the entire space, and the Geniers will be able to use the lights for years to come.
Meanwhile, Spencer gets serious with his sewing project.
My favorite part of Christmas was always opening up my stocking. So I decided to make an extra special set for the Geniers. They weren't expensive to make. They only cost around $20 for all 4. All I did is just make this template out of poster board. I just trace around it. Cut it out. Sew it together. Then I'm going to turn it inside out and bring in a different colored fabric to band the top and then add some other things on the heel and toe like I've done with these. And it's as simple as that.
These stockings are really beautiful. But who says stockings need to be socks?
Now I've used an unusual fabric to create the stockings for the Geniers, but if you want to go really out there are any number of other materials that you could use. Like this one I made out of black and clear vinyl for a really offbeat look. Or I've got this one here, which I made out of a dryer duct, which I got at my local hardware store, and I capped off the ends with velvet. And a stocking doesn't even literally have to be in a stocking shape. There are all sorts of other containers around your house that you could use, like this galvanized bucket, which would look really cool hanging off your mantle. Or you could string together a chain of to-go food boxes to hide all your little gifts in. Basically what I'm saying is the possibilities are endless.
With the stockings under control, it's time to see how Dave is doing on his garlands.
Since the pre-made garlands were so expensive, I decided to make my own. I gathered the raw materials, greenery, baling wire, pine cones, all the necessary things to make this. I'm going to tie it all together and then add it on to the greens. And when I'm done, for just over $100, we're going to have the perfect garlands for our holiday makeover.
For the Geniers, Dave has made nearly 50 feet of evergreen garlands, and he still had the time to come up with some clever contemporary creations.
The Geniers' home called for a more traditional garland. But for those of you who are a little bit more unconventional, I came up with a few options. This first one is a great way to showcase your old Christmas cards. All I did was took a hole punch and punched a hole into the corner of each card and then attached a small drapery clip. I then hung them onto a piece of ball-bearing chain that I purchased at a local hobby shop. This one is what I like to call invisible icicles. All I did was took some branches and spray painted them silver. I then attached them to a piece of fishing line. When they hang around your window, the piece of line will disappear and it'll look like the icicles are hanging in midair. And finally, for all you music lovers out there, I came up with this. I went down to my local office supply shop and I picked up a pack of CDs. I then taped them to a piece of airplane cable using some duct tape, and then I strung some Christmas lights around it, and voila! For under $10, you too can have these options in your home for Christmas.
Meanwhile, in the dining area, Lee is carefully crafting an inviting centerpiece design.
My main goal for the dining room is, of course, to set a really great table. Now, not only do I want to make this functional, but I also want to make it visually appealing so that everybody is drawn to the food. Now, to start off with, I'm using this great tablecloth, courtesy of Spencer, topiaries, poinsettias, garland, and the various platters that the Ganayers have collected through the years, and, of course, our train theme. Now, the best part is when I'm done, I'm the first one at the table. Creating levels in a centerpiece by using recycled boxes is a great way to add visual interest to any holiday table. I'm using more of the Duoni silk that Spencer used to make the tablecloth to cover the boxes. This great setting came together for just $50, but I've also come up with some alternative centerpiece ideas that can cost even less. When you don't have a built-in theme to start with, you pretty much have the freedom to create anything you want with your centerpiece. Now take this one for example. This one creates a retro theme just by using the aqua and the lime green colors and the disco balls that you see. Now to create this, all I did was use a hot glue gun and pretty much glue the ornaments onto the styrofoam base. Now the centerpiece doesn't even have to cost you a dime. By simply taking all the Christmas cards from last year and recycling them to this year, you can create a version of a gingerbread house by making a Christmas card house. Now what I did here was I took just a basic box and then taped all the Christmas cards onto the box using double-sided tape. This gives a splash of color and charm. And finally, for a very modern and minimalistic statement, all you need is a few bottles, a mirror, some candles, some ornaments, and some twigs for a very streamlined version of a Christmas tree.
Meanwhile, the rest of us are making some headway in the living room. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas in here.
Tell me if you need them again.
Thank you, love. I need them.
You're a funny girl.
The clock is ticking, and we've got many more projects in store. The secret to a free wreath could be in your own front yard. Spencer uncorks a family photo display, and we paint the walls with light.
Ooh.
When Christmas Design on a Dime continues.
Let's see what's under the tree 2003.
Gadgets, gizmos, and toys for all ages.
We're going to show you the stocking stuffers that say celebration with a capital C.
Homeowners Nancy and Greg Ganayer want us to retain some tradition with the decorations to tie in with their home's architecture. But they'd also like us to put a contemporary spin on the design. And we've been hard at work doing just that.
Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
No one's going to buy all new furniture just to match their holiday decor, but you can liven up your existing furniture by purchasing a simple slipcover. This one costs us around $100, and it will really complement the overall look. If Spencer can get it on the sofa, that is.
Spencer, do you need help over there?
Yeah, I don't know. This thing too big or what?
No, it just takes a ton of tucking before it starts to take shape. See,
How do these play?
They're just supposed to be at the corner, because this line wants to be with the front of your arm. Little squinchy things.
Charles is busy working on his snowy Christmas tree skirt, while the rest of us scramble around like busy Christmas elves.
As a special treat for the family, Spencer's created a unique photo display using some vintage-looking bottles he found at an import store.
Instead of using the same old regular frames that you'd see all year round, I came up with a cool idea especially for the holidays. I took some of the family photos and aged them to match these cool vintage bottles I'd found. I aged them on my computer, but you could easily do it at your local coffee store. Then it's as simple as rolling them up, sticking them inside, and they end for roll. I only got one left to do, so I'm going to get to it.
To create these 4 photo displays, Spencer spent just $25, but the family memories captured in the bottles, priceless.
With Lee's table setting in top form, I'm doing my best to make sure the rest of the dining room is just as jolly.
Nice.
Looks beautiful. I found this in the hall.
You did? What was here before?
A picture of a train, but once all the candlelight is in here, I think the reflection's going to be beautiful. It's going to make it more formal, I think.
Cool. And you have your stuff all ready for this?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Going to get started on that.
This fiberglass material is a unique spin on the classic table runner. Set off by the Ganayer's antique silver tea service and elegant candlesticks, it highlights the modern meets classic theme we're trying to create. And always remember, there is nothing wrong with borrowing items from other rooms in your home to decorate for the holidays.
Hey guys, you ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I think if we each
doing
take
here?
a part of the tree,
Yeah, make sure
because
you
it's in
grab from the
sections,
middle.
and grab towards the
separates
center.
in the middle, right?
Exactly. So if we each grab top, middle, and bottom, and just sort of lift up, Summer will wrangle
Okay.
the box.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
And?
And lift. Is it working?
Yep. In the box.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to try and place this here.
Let's see. I think this has to go on from the back. Charles's dream of a white Christmas has finally come true, with simple white batting transformed into an icy tree stand base.
All right.
Nice.
Little tuckage there.
Nice.
All right.
Summer's plan for the tree is a blending of traditional red and gold ornaments with some funky eggplant-colored accents for the classic meets contemporary theme we're creating in the space. She's using the family's own ornaments along with some clever additions of her own.
I'm just filling in the larger spaces right now
Okay.
with these big baubles.
They're
so
great.
they take up a lot of room and they reflect the light.
Perfect.
And then since they love trains so much,
Oh,
I'm
cute.
using these little trains and making them into Christmas ornaments. They were only $2 a piece.
Oh my gosh, these are great.
Yeah, the red ones coordinate with the tree. I have some
Okay.
other ones that I bought that didn't match, but I love
right.
the shape, so I'm just going to spray paint them in the gold.
Perfect.
And our eggplant color, and they'll match later.
Brilliant idea.
Thank you.
Spray painting ornaments is one way to personalize your tree, but Summer's got lots of other funky ideas.
For the Ganayers, I did a traditional train-themed tree, but you can get creative and do any kind of theme you want. For instance, I have a Hawaiian tiki-themed tree right here, complete with little wooden tikis, tropical flowers, festive drink umbrellas, and also shell lays. For this Asian-inspired tree, I have Chinese dragons, a chopstick topper, little fortune cookies that I sprayed gold with just some spray paint, origami animals, and these cool little Chinese drums that I picked up down in Chinatown. And for our four-legged friends, I have a pet tree, complete with little doggy leashes in red and green, doggy treats, little pet toys, and cool little dog tags. So as you can see, don't be afraid to be creative.
'Twas the day before the party when all through the place, the whole team is busy sprucing up the space.
Here is your fabulous garland extravaganza.
Thank you, sir.
The stockings are being hung by the chimney with care.
Velcro is very smart. Smart touch.
Colors are great.
Looks really good.
Even ties in with the tile on the back.
Yeah.
It looks excellent.
Now Charles can move on to tying up the gifts.
This is something that I like to do with every package. It's to wrap the base and the top independently so that it's not about ripping and shredding. It's just a matter of taking the top right off. I think that not only is it a great time saver, it's a great frustration saver, and you're able to use this package again and again year after year. Merry Christmas. Every year, I try and come up with new and creative ways of wrapping my holiday gifts. This year, I came up with a couple that I want to share with you. Now, the first one is a great way of using your favorite holiday photos. Now, this photo is one that I took last year. I repeated the pattern on my computer, took the disc to my local copy store, and printed it out on a large roll of white paper. I added a little bit of green marker, and we have a personalized gift that also doesn't require a gift tag. The person whose face is on the gift is the person that gets it. Now, a great way of using inexpensive white butcher paper, which you can get at any restaurant supply store for a couple of dollars a roll, is to use little sprigs of evergreen, holly, whatever you happen to have laying around, lay it out on the paper, give it a light dusting of gold spray paint, and you have the ever-popular combination of holiday red and gold. Now, a great way of thinking outside of the box is to not use boxes at all. In this case, I'm using holiday gift bags.
Now, for my friend Ellen, I wanted a more elegant approach. So I used a strand of faux pearls, a classic red ornament, which I labeled with a gold paint pen. Now for my friend Chris, who's a real do-it-yourselfer, burlap, chain, and nuts and bolts was the perfect look for her. Now for my wacky friend Jane, a feather boa was the perfect look for her. You shouldn't have to spend any money to creatively personalize your holiday gifts. You should be able to do it with items found around the house, and it's a great way of adding your personal touch to every single gift you give.
With that wrapped up, Kristen's hard at work on a wreath for the front door.
There you go.
Excellent, thank you.
Is that real or is that fake?
This is from the front yard.
Or is it really fake?
No, they had a tree that actually needed some pruning.
Yeah?
I thought I'd help them out. So I'm using it.
Nice.
That way it'll smell good in here. We need some Christmas smell.
It does smell good in here.
Yeah.
But Kristen's not stopping there. She's got some more radical wreath designs.
Wreaths can be made of all sorts of things. Evergreens aren't your only option. For instance, on this one, we took licorice, peppermints, and chocolates for a really yummy wreath. This one is just a styrofoam form covered in red fabric and then encrusted with jewels found at thrift stores and flea markets. And if you're looking for something really different, try a hubcap strung with lights and finished off with an encrusted snowflake, and you are ready to roll for a fun, funky, modern Christmas.
Christmas is for the child in all of us, and Dave's Toy Box benches are almost ready for show and tell. To finish them off, he's personalizing them with the Ganayer children's names and adding some special surprises decoupaged inside the lids and hand-painted on the front. With a coat of lacquer to top it off, these benches will be around for the next generation.
Let's get it in place, buddy. Oh, the pictures you put in here. It's nice. Thanks, man.
I thought it was good. It was themed.
Yeah.
Spencer tag teamed with Dave to make these bench cushions out of 2-inch foam and some leftover fabric.
It's cute.
I'll just put these last two right in.
So what's happening with the lighting exactly? Are you...
I think we're doing 2 in here and 2 in the dining room.
Okay, do you have a color preference?
The green's in here because we've got the maroon curtains, and then the red's on the far side of that room, so they counterbalance each other.
Instead of painting your walls for the holidays, you can create splashes of color using lighting for dramatic effect.
This table looks amazing.
Oh, thanks. Personal items like family photos and fragile Christmas heirlooms look beautiful in this ideal display coffee table.
It's really nice because it really represents the family.
That's what Christmas is all about. It's all about family. No.
I'm always left out of those.
No, you're not, baby.
Oh,
That's good.
oh my gosh. I think the Ganayers are going to love this.
This room is fantastic.
Really good. It was good work with you guys.
That
was.
great.
Oh, a lot of fun.
Let's do it again real soon.
Next year.
Coming up, the Ganayers get to see their holiday home for the first time. Is it the gift that keeps on giving? Find out next on Christmas Design on a Dime.
2, 3, open your eyes.
Ordering Dish on Demand pay-per-view is as easy as picking up your phone. Get the best new movies for...
Nancy and Greg wanted their home to look tantalizing for a festive holiday bash.
So we banished them from the house while we decked their halls with loads of classic meets contemporary holiday decor. The Ganayers have no idea what we've been up to, but they're about to find out.
You ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Watch your step.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right.
All right.
So, everybody there? How about on the count of 3, we'll have you guys open your eyes, all right? 1, 2, 3, open your eyes. Wow! Merry Christmas!
Look at that! Wow! How pretty!
Before, the Ganayers' living room was quaint, but a little lackluster for the holiday season. Now, the space is alive with color and contrast.
What do you think of the tree?
Oh, I love the tree. The tree is gorgeous. Look at that.
And you have all kinds of trees on that tree.
Now with the tree, we've sort of framed everything out with the garland, and it all lights out, and then flanking that on both sides, the kids have new toy boxes, which are also benches for the party.
Oh,
But those can be put in their rooms later on, but you can keep pulling these out as additional seating.
How did you do the cat on the... That is all done by hand, all hand painted. Oh, it's painted?
Oh my gosh. On
And
the
then each of the
boxes.
kids have their names on the boxes. Now there's also a train on the front of Tim's box.
Oh, how excellent.
And I like the tree lifted up. Isn't that cool? It really looks nice.
Wherever the room looked bare or bland, we added splashes of color using lighting.
You know, normally when we do a transformation, we paint the walls. But the architecture is so cool, and we didn't want to mess it up for, you know, just for after the holidays.
So we did that visual statement with lighting, and we just used uplights with gel films on them, colored films, and used some in here, also outside, to do splashes of color on the wall.
That's beautiful. That looks fantastic. What a good idea.
Yeah,
what a good idea.
Resourceful, yeah.
The room's high wooden beams are a breathtaking feature. We enhanced them with handmade garlands, providing just the right amount of festive flair.
I love the fireplace.
New stockings, all handmade.
Oh, those are beautiful.
You guys said it wasn't working, but I think the candles work.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow, they make it very nice in here. It's very warm. Yeah.
Now, in your niche up here is actually just a tree topper attached to a candlestick. You've got 2 more in these niches.
Wow.
So that's just a cool little thing you can do with ornaments.
That's beautiful.
The piano has been dressed out with Spencer's creative and personal photo display. And the organ has become a focal point in the room now that it's topped with one of the Ganeyer's treasure trains.
Before, the drapes in this room were the right color, but needed to be dressed up for Christmas. By adding some gold beading, ribbon, and some holly and berries, they now look ready for Santa. And the lighting got a festive facelift as well.
I loved the original sconces that were probably original for the home, right?
Yes,
Look
and
how
they
we
look
dressed them out.
fabulous now.
Isn't that cool?
That's great.
Oh,
that's
that's really
beautiful.
great.
Now, your tables as well, with the glass tops, are